Thank you for tuning in to the Keeping It Real with KC podcast, a no judgment zone podcast that covers lifestyle, entertainment, news, and sports. Even though KC doesn't watch sports, but these are minor details. By the way, he reads tarot cards too. Yes, I really mean it. He reads tarot cards too. And now, the host you've tuned in for, KC Phoenix.
Welcome to the Keeping It Real with KC podcast. I am your host, KC Phoenix. Before I go any further, kirwkc.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. I'm doing a quick 3 tarot. For those who are new to this, the quick 3 is for the collective. It's not for a specific sign. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it's not your story, don't try to make it fit. I'm just a person sitting here reading the energy and the tarot cards. For the decks I'm using today, I'm using the Disney Villains deck, which is a really cool deck. And I'm using the Saints and Mystics Oracle deck, which is one of my favorite decks. I love this deck. And yeah. So let's unpack some of this. I really feel that abundance, emotional abundance, not material, emotional abundance, is on a lot of people's minds based off of the pre-shuffle. I feel that you may have neglected some of your relationships. For some of you, in one timeline, some people may have neglected some of their relationships. And now they're working to invest in those relationships. They're freeing up the bandwidth to strengthen those relationships. For others of you, you're just looking to create new relationships and do that. Where you're looking for more of an emotional connection is what you're working towards. That is what one of your desires is. Some of you may be looking to start a family right now. And that's what is going on. At least that's the energy that I'm picking up. Especially for the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So family may be on your mind. Let me go ahead and see what the energy is for today. May I have the energy for January 20th for the collective? May I have the energy for January 20th for the collective? May I have the energy for January 20th for the collective? What is it that the collective needs to hear? And when I split the deck, Knight of Swords came out. So somebody may be rushing in towards you. You may be dealing with an air sign, or you may be an air sign, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. So they may be coming in with some information, or you may be looking for information. Or you just may be rushing towards your happiness in doing that. So Knight of Swords came up. Let me split the deck in 3 and see what I get. What's at the bottom of the deck? 7 of Coins. Yeah, this card keeps on showing up. This is going to investment. This is definitely what I was talking about, where some of you, excuse me, I have a frog in my throat, where some of you are actually looking to invest in your emotional relationships. You may not have wanted to invest before, or for others of you, you just didn't have the bandwidth to invest in your emotional relationships. I said 7 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, working towards, okay, Mercury, I get it. So you're working towards your relationship is what you're doing. You're putting in the work now. So investing. Trying to see. I want to see something right quick. Let me pull 3 cards. Right now, there's something about putting in the work is what you're doing for this emotional abundance. Maybe you didn't, I don't know, maybe you didn't have the resources before to give you the bandwidth to do the emotional thing, or maybe you just didn't want to put the work in for it before, but now you do. But it's something involving working towards it, though. You see, may I have some cards, please? These cards really stick together. What is the message the collective needs to hear? Thank you. All right, may I have 2 more cards, please? Okay, this was a big clump of cards. How many cards are those? Those are 3. Actually, 4. I'm taking the one on the top. I don't know what it is. Wow. Okay. Something told me to take the one on the top, and I'm glad I did. Wow. That is crazy. Oh my goodness. Okay. Don't worry. I'm going to tell you what it is in a minute. And you're going to be like, wow. This is pretty much what the energy said, and these 2 cards came out together. So I'm going to go ahead and take them. Wow. Interesting. Okay. What's at the bottom of the deck? Okay. So let's go ahead and get into it right quick. I feel like someone might be getting married. First of all, I told you family is the thing. First card that came out is the High Priestess, which this is Maleficent. So the High Priestess. High Priestess is Pisces and Cancer energy. High Priestess can be about secrets, but also High Priestess can be about knowledge. High Priestess can also be about intuition. Some of you may intuitively know it's time for you to start investing in truck by the door, loud engine. That's what that is. Some of you might intuitively know it's time for you to start investing in emotional relationships, is what this is. So for others of you, some of you might intuitively know you're about to be in a relationship. Like you can feel a relationship is on the horizon as well. Another timeline I'm picking up is that somebody is already planning a proposal for someone and it's secret. High Priestess. Might be a Pisces or a Cancer that's planning to propose to you. So keep that in mind. That's going on for one timeline. But honestly, I feel like the overall is that you know intuitively, okay, everything is lining up. So it's time for me to go ahead and invest in an actual emotional relationship. Invest in, let's say, this friendship or this romance or this, family members or whatever you want to invest in. The reason I'm saying that, and I keep on bringing up emotional relationships, is because the second card that came out is the 10 of Cups. This is a family card. Now, during the pre-shuffle, the 10 of Cups came out twice. That's why I had already titled this, working towards your emotional abundance, because that's what this is. 10 of Cups is emotional abundance on steroids, is what it is. And it's about family. So this is the third time the 10 of Cups has come out. This also, cups relate to water energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. You could be one of those signs, or you could be dealing with those signs, or you could just be in that energy. You don't have to be a water sign to be in 10 of Cups energy. But that is something that is a focus. The reason I really feel like there's family at play here, because these two cards came out together. The King of Coins, which the King of Pentacles, and the Empress. So this is already letting me know, with the Empress and the 10 of Coins, this is already giving me pregnancy. Is what this is already giving me. This is already giving me pregnancy. Off the bat. With the King of Coins. I honestly feel, for some of you, you feel that you're in a stable enough place now where you can start a family, is what you can do. And for others of you, I'm going back to this proposal, High Priestess, where someone is already planning a proposal and the other person doesn't know about it. There may be a King of Coins out there that the King of Coins sees someone as the Empress, and it doesn't matter if you're male or female. There's no gender in tarot. But where someone who is in King of Coins energy, they see someone else as the Empress. And now they're ready to propose to them. Now they're ready to start a family with them, is what they're ready to do. That's the energy that I'm picking up. On top of that, that confirms that for me is on the bottom of the deck is the Knight of Cups. There's an offer coming into someone. And also, 1 plus 10 is the Ace, which is new. This is a new offer of love. A new offer of love will be coming in for someone. And it may be sometime soon. I don't know why, but I feel like this offer may come from someone that you've overlooked, where you just didn't pay attention to them, or they weren't on your radar. That's for some of you. That's one of the timelines. It's like somebody that you already know. For others of you, another timeline is that you are just moving into abundance. It's like there's a saying, okay, let me make sure I can say this correctly. Victory begets victory. It's more to the point of one victory brings more victory, so victory brings more victory is what it does. I feel for some of you in another timeline, with the Empress and the King of Coins, these are two energies in one. And abundance brings more abundance. Now that you have the financial, because this is all 3D right here. Pentacles deal with 3D. Empress is ruled by Venus, which also you could be dealing with a Libra, a Taurus, or I also say Cancer, because Cancer in my eyes is Empress energy as well, because Cancer is the mother of the zodiac. The Empress is the mother of the tarot deck. So yeah, but with all of this abundance, material abundance, because this is material abundance. With all of this material abundance that someone may be experiencing, is bringing now in emotional abundance, or it's now time for emotional abundance, is what's happening because of the material abundance. I'm picking up that energy too as well. But regardless, I feel that someone or some people, because this may be both ways. Again, this may be two people, Empress and the King of Coins, both these energies, where two people are working towards emotional abundance. Also, with the Ten of Cups being family, maybe it's a family affair where everyone now is chipping in. They now have the bandwidth, maybe due to all of this craziness that's been going on in the world, where people just mentally didn't have, and even though there aren't any swords here, people mentally just did not have the emotional bandwidth to give to a relationship. They just didn't over the past few years. But now they're like, you know what? Let me go ahead and start strengthening these bonds. That's it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Strengthening bonds. That's what some people want to do, is strengthening their bonds. I just, something just said to me, this could be a mother and a father as well. Doesn't have to be, but I just picked up that energy. Where a mother and a father, or two people who are held in high regard, want to start strengthening the family bonds. Some of you, if you're parents, I'm just now picking up this energy. And especially with the high priestess here, some of you where, I'm talking about immediate family, where you may have kids, let's say they're teenagers or something like that, where there hasn't been much communication as there used to be. And now you and your counterpart, King of Coins and the Empress, you're now taking the initiative to open up the communication to strengthen the bonds within the family. Where maybe the kids are on their phone too much, or they're playing video games too much, or they're watching too much TV, or they're doing this, or they're doing that. And you're deciding as the parents, as the head of the household, to take the bull by the horns and say, hey, we need to start communicating. We need to start building our bonds, or strengthening our bonds is what we need to start doing, so we can have abundance, is the energy that I'm picking up. But the overall, regardless of what timeline that we're dealing with here, there are people working towards an emotional abundance, is what I'm getting. So let me go ahead and take an oracle card right quick. Energy for January 20th for the collective. Energy for January 20th for the collective. May I have the energy for January 20th for the collective? Energy for January 20th for the collective. What do they need to hear? When I split the deck, healing came up. I told you that some people in certain timelines, you're healing your emotional bonds is what you're doing. You're working towards that. Some of you are reclaiming your previous timeline. You lost it due to whatever craziness has been happening in your life, but now you're reclaiming it. You are doing some healing, whether it is internal healing or whether it is external healing. There is healing going on, and it's on an emotional level, but I feel it is family healing that is happening. Let me go ahead and Matt, pick a card right quick. May I have a card, please? What does the collective need to hear? May I have a card, please? Okay, those just turned all the way up. And this one did not. There we go. May I have a card, please? Okay, this one just wanted to slide out. I have no idea what it is. 1 second. What is this? Oh, wow. Saint Josephine. Release. Okay. Let me go ahead. Bhakta. Saint Josephine Bhakta. I'm not familiar with her. That's another reason why I love this, because it gives some people that I'm not familiar with. Saint Josephine. I'm looking her up now, and I'm about to read it for my listeners that are listening to the show. Okay, found it. All right, working on the lighting here. It says Saint Josephine Bhakta. All right, hold on. I read that wrong. Bhakita. So Saint Josephine Bhakita. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Patron saint of Sudan and sacrifice. Feast day, February the 8th. Maybe something's going on happening on February the 8th too. It says Saint Josephine Bhakita was a former child slave kidnapped from her home in Sudan by slave traders in the late 1800s. As a child and teenager, Josephine was sold to a number of cruel and vindictive masters before ending up with an Italian vice consul named Callisto and his wife Torina, who eventually took her back with them to Italy. As Italy did not accept slavery, Bhakita was declared a free woman, and she found solace in a home with the Canisian sisters. Hopefully I pronounced that right. A religious order who introduced her to the service and spirituality of their god, Bhakita. Translates as fortunate in Arabic. She took the name Sister Josephine and lived out her days caring for the sick and the suffering with gratitude and peace. Josephine was declared a saint in 1992 by Pope John Paul II and is the only saint from the country of Sudan. You learn something new every day. All right. Now, it says oracle meaning, emotionally. She encourages all who call her to continue even when times are difficult and bleak. She urges us to let go of bitterness and find forgiveness in ourselves and others. Suffering is tremendously painful, but through sacrifice and transformation, freedom is possible. So, some of you may be holding grudges against your family. It's time to forgive them. 2. It says spiritually, Saint Josephine governs the activations of the crown and heart chakras. However, when dire circumstances arise, she assists in strengthening the cord from the earth star chakra into the depths of Mother Earth to another and remain grounded. Saint Josephine Bhakita releases toxic ties that bind and helps us see ways out of our spiritual and emotional bondage. Consciously, Saint Josephine reveals our greatest strength from within and teaches the power of resilience amidst great challenges. Josephine comes through with strong and magnificent waves of energy as she aids you to turn inwards and rise with resilience. Where there are repeating cycles, Josephine will help you break free once and for all. There is nothing Josephine has endured that you cannot. So keep pushing on. Keep up the faith. Saint Josephine Bhakita watches over those who care for others and anyone who has or is currently suffering in deep pain, abuse, or cruelty. Invocation is, the bondage is broken, a change has come. Saint Josephine Bhakita, thy will is done. So this is about releasing, and also this is about overcoming. Some of you may have some family issues, because I'm going back to this, and it doesn't necessarily have to be family, it could be emotional, where someone may have been wronged. Because the cards are the cards are the cards. When they come out for a reason. Where someone may have been emotionally wronged. And that is something that you're working on now, is getting past what has happened for some of you. Obviously, this will not resonate for all of you. If it does resonate with all of you, great. But if it doesn't, it's understandable. But for some of you in a timeline, you're working through the emotional baggage is what you're doing. And part of working through that emotional baggage is learning how to release what others, whether it was coworkers, whether it was friends, whether it was family, whether it was strangers, what they have done to you. Maybe there was some type of cruelty that happened to someone who is listening to this episode. And that's why this card is coming out saying it's time to release that cruelty. Or this is just confirmation, because don't forget, what I was talking about earlier is that you're working towards your emotional abundance. If you're already working towards emotional abundance, you're in the process of releasing any type of toxicity from your past anyway. And this is just a confirmation to you of what you're already doing. So yeah, that is the card, the oracle card for that. All right, so that is your quick 3 tarot for January the 20th. kirwkc.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Until next time, be blessed.